Today, I want to tell you about one of God's little creatures that He made. One of God's tiniest itty-bitty creatures. The itty-bitty creature is this one right here. It's called an ant. An ant. We've been singing about the ant. An ant is such a tiny thing. Now, it's a silly song, but it's so fun. And we can learn from the ant about being hard workers, about being diligent, because I want to tell you about what ants do. They are such hard workers. Do you see this picture right here? This picture is of an ant. Now, ants are not really that big. Look at my hand. Do you see how big my hand is? Have you ever seen an ant that big? I think it would be kind of scary if it was that big. Do you think I would be scared? I wouldn't want to be anywhere near an ant if it was that big. I don't even really like to go near ants because I'm afraid they're going to bite me. It is not fun to be near an ant. But the ants have a job to do. They have a hard job to work at. And I'm going to tell you all about what they do. Now, whenever we see a big pile, it's called a mound. Say that with me. Mound. A mound out on the grass on the fields. That is the mound where the ants like to crawl in, and you see a little hole, and you can see the ants going in and coming out and coming in, but they don't live on the top. They live down in the bottom, down here. Do you see all these little tunnels? These are called tunnels. And they make little tunnels, so they're like little workers. They have to work too, just like you have to come to school and work hard, and mommies and daddies go to work and work hard. There are worker ants, and they work, and they have different jobs to do. Some of their jobs is to dig those tunnels. Some of their jobs is to come out of the tunnels and to go out and to find food. Have you ever watched an ant? Maybe if you ever had some sugar ants at your house, sometimes that happens. And you leave a little bit of crumbs. Maybe you were eating cookies after school and you left some crumbs, and then all of a sudden the ants come and you see them coming like little armies. They're like a little tiny army, and they walk and they're carrying that crumb on top of their head. Well, it looks like an army, like they're carrying something. And they're carrying that food back. Look at this ant right here. This ant is carrying a leaf. And they like to eat leaves. They munch on those leaves. And they're carrying that leaf back down into the tunnels. Look, there's one carrying a leaf down into the tunnels. So some of their jobs is to carry the food. Some of their jobs is to protect the baby ants. Now, there's a very special ant that lives inside of the tunnel, and she is bigger than any of the other ants. Now, she's not as big as this right here. She's just a little bit bigger than the other ant. She's called the queen ant. She's a queen. What kind of ant is she?
Queen.
The queen, kind of like a mommy. Like she's the mommy of all these ants, but they call her the queen ant, and she's the queen ant. And do you see all these are the little eggs, and that's where the babies are. So some of these ants are kind of like the babysitters. They have to go and they have to protect the baby ants and watch them when they hatch out of the little eggs. Well, they have these other things down here called aphids. Say that with me. Aphids. And the aphids have something yummy inside it called honeydew. Say that. Honeydew. Oh, it's so yummy. They drink it. It's so yummy and it's delicious. Now, let me tell you about an ant though. Do you see the ant has 3 parts? There's 3 parts to an ant. How many parts? 3. There's the head. Touch your head. This is the head of the ant. Then there's the thorax. The thorax is like the middle. There's the thorax. And then the abdomen, and that's the bottom part of the ant. So the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Now, usually when we see an ant, we go, there's a bug. There's a bug over there. But we like to call all kinds of things bugs, like spiders and ants and all kinds of things. But do you know that an ant is called an insect? Say that. Insect. Do you know why it's an insect? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 6 legs. So if you see a bug that has 6 legs, then you know it's an insect. What is it? An insect. That's right. It's an insect. So, an ant is an insect. Now, you say, but Mrs. Stewart, they have something right here. There's 2 more things sticking out. Well, those are not legs. Those are called antennae. What are they called? Antennae. The antennae are feelers. Get your feelers out. These are feelers. They're on top of their heads. And they are what helps them find things like the food and the aphids that are down inside the tunnels, and so that they can get the yummy honeydew. So let's feel for the honeydew. Get it? It's so delicious. Good job. So that's how they find their things, by using their antennae. Go like this. Oh, that's so fun. Put your hands down. So the ants have a hard job to do. So they don't live up here in the grass. They live down inside the ground. So when you see ants crawling up above, that's because they're looking for food, and then they're coming and going down inside the ground. So where do ants live? Down in the what?
In the ground.
In the ground. Good job. And when they find aphids, what's inside the aphids? The yummy what? Honeydew. Good job, Luke. What's it called? Honeydew. That's right. And they drink that honeydew. And some of the workers are like, they build tunnels, some look for food, and some are the, what are they called? The babysitters. The little babysitters, because they're going to take care of them. So they have all kinds of different jobs. There's even more jobs than that. So they all have a job to do. And then this bug is called an insect because it has how many legs? 6 legs, that's right, and then it has its feelers too. Now, we don't want to play with it. You don't want to play with them because you know they bite. And then when they bite, you get all scratchy, and then you get that big bump on your skin, and oh, it's so itchy. So you don't really want to go play with them. So ever you walking around, maybe outside in your backyard, or boys and girls watching, you're in your backyard, or out in the playground, and you see a mound, stay away from it because you don't want to get bit. Now, not all ants bite, but you just want to stay away from ants. You want to, especially those red ants. They really bite hard. So you stay away from them, but it is kind of cool to kind of step back and just kind of watch to see how the ants like to crawl and look for food and what they find, because they like to eat all the crumbs that get dropped and they like to find leaves and all kinds of fun things, and then they bring it underground and feed all their friends and the queen. Isn't it fun to learn about God's creatures? It is, and it's fun to know that insects have how many legs? 6, that's right. So it's fun. I love to learn about all the wonderful things that God has made.